love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take
Good morning and welcome to Peak Performance Mentor. I'm your host, Diego Natale. Today, we are talking about a framework that you have probably heard of in a complete different context, the 5 love languages, and why it may be the most underused leadership tool on your team. But first, listen me out in here. I'm the type of person that I say, fuck your feelings. Yes, you are entitled to your feelings. However, emotional intelligence is key to understand that you can have feelings and how those same feelings can ruin your life. So, yes, feelings make you weak if you don't rationalize them. You need to be smart enough on how much attention you pay to your feelings. Peak performers understand that feelings can propel you forward or can drown you deep into the darkness. That's a reality of it. Feelings can also make you a great leader if you can understand what actions could trigger your subordinates to feel recognized, so feel that you got their back because you do by paying attention to what they actually care. Then they will follow you to the end of time, or they will do the bare minimum to keep their jobs. So let's go into it. Here is the mistake almost every new leader makes. And you find one way to show appreciation. Maybe you're a good team leader, but you use the same tool and applies to everybody. It's like a blanket to show appreciation, but maybe, maybe not everyone feels value the same way. Dr. Gary Chapman wrote about this in Marriages back in 1992, the 5 love languages. Everybody heard about this. I heard about this, so probably you did too. But walk into an office, any team, any group project, and you will see the exact same 5 patterns. The only difference is instead of being in a relationship, you are at work, everybody's wearing suit and tie, but the way they feel and recognize things are with the same mechanisms. So if you don't know your team language, you could be working incredibly hard to show appreciation to your team and it's not landing on your teammates. So let's discuss what is this problem and how to solve it. Language number 1, words of affirmation. Language is everything. So pay attention. Some people are fueled by hearing exactly what they did well and why it mattered. No, great job, everyone is noise. So it means nothing. Instead, try something more specific, like a phrase that costs 30 seconds and build loyalty for months. For example, instead of great quarter team, great job everybody, tried, hey Peter, the way you handled the client escalation on Tuesday, that saved the account, buddy. That's the judgment I trust you with. So yes, if you can say specifically what someone did, you haven't actually acknowledged them because it's like you didn't really know what they did. So don't be too general. Language number 2, quality time. Because quality time is so important, right? At least for me, you want quality time, no drama, that's in relationships. But at the office, some people do not want a company-wide email and to recognize their achievement. Perhaps they are shy, they don't want that. But they want 5 undistracted minutes with you, with your undivided attention, because that matters to them. This is the kind of leader who protects the one-to-one. You need to put your phone somewhere, not glancing at your screen, but actually listening. That's what we call active listening. You do eye contact, you acknowledge what you are listening to. For this person, if you cancel a one-to-one, doesn't read that you are busy. It reads, I'm not a priority, and that's what you don't want. Number four, we have acts of service. What it means is this type of individuals feels value through Action, no words. They don't need to hear you say, hey, buddy, you got this before the deadline. They need someone to say, send me 2 of those slides. I will build them while you finish the analysis. Help its commitment. Words without action can feel hollow to this person because words without actions, they are horseshit. I don't like it. I like people to back up what they said, to trust them. So the tip is ask what's on your plate and then actually take something of it. Language number 4, tangible recognition or slash gift. This type of language in a relationship, it is a gift. At work, we can call it tangible recognition, a handwritten note, a gift card to the place they actually mentioned once 3 months ago, a small personal visible marker that says, I notice, I pay attention to you. The gesture only works if it's personal. A generic company blanket mug with the company's name or a Tim Hortons gift certificate of appreciation doesn't move the needle. The dollar value barely matters. The attentiveness is the whole message. Love language number 5, and we're gonna call it appropriate presence. In reality, is touch. However, language number 5, and this one can get you in trouble if you don't take care when we move it from marriage to the workplace, right? In a relationship, the language is physical touch, but at work, the same energy shows up as an appropriate physical presence or a genuine handshake, fist bump after a big win, showing up in person for lunch instead of sending a message from your desktop. This is about presence and energy, never about contact that makes anyone uncomfortable. And let's make this clear right now. When in doubt, keep it strictly professional, a handshake, a nod, standing beside someone during some hard moment instead of leaving them to handle alone. The tip, it will be, if you're unsure whether a gesture is welcome, is not the right gesture. So default to presence, not touch. The leadership takeaway, what you need to know to be a good leader based on the 5 love languages in here, is the part that actually matters for you as a leader, and is not your default language. The way you show in appreciation is always just the language you personally respond to. That's a trap. The job isn't picking your favorite language to communicate appreciation, is diagnosing what your team members choose to be recognized and trying to meet it. Ask your team directly, your personal love language. You can make a questionnaire or just watch what they show appreciation to other people for. Most of us give what we secretly want to receive. Recognition that doesn't land is wasted effort. So match the language and the exact same amount of effort will multiply in impact. So, summarizing what we have seen today are the 5 love languages applied to your workplace for a better leadership and communication with your staff. So things that they will recognize. And the quick reference is there are 5 and there are words of affirmation. They need to be specific and name frames. Second, quality time and distracted one-to-one attention. Number 3, acts of service, helping, carrying the load, that's key. Number 4, tangible recognition / gift. That's what we usually do in relationships, is a visible personal marker. And the last one, number 5, is appropriate presence at work. In a relationship, that's called touch, real energy, professional gesture. So this is all I have for you today. And I'm gonna leave you as I always do. Be grateful for all those little positive things you have, and you will unfold a life of gratitude. Be nicer to each other and know that you are appreciated. Thank you so much, and until next time, this is Big Performance Mentor. Ciao.
It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry.